Okay, big news, guys. I've done extensive research. I've ran a lot of tests, and I've crunched the numbers, and I've come to the conclusion that there are only two genders. So everyone can shut up about that now. All right? Cool. Yeah. See, this is the part in the credits where they start showing the cast. It's really late in the game. Yeah. Scott Bakula, Dean Stockwell, Quantum Leap. Yeah. Okay. That's enough of that. Oh boy. And I start every show the same. I'm always like, oh, I don't know what to do now. What do we have to start? We have to start the show? We have to start the show now? Oh, great. Okay, what are we going to talk about today, guys? Hi. I don't know. It's like, what's big in the news? Yeah, welcome to Vent. Welcome to Vent. Welcome to Vent with Nick R. Murphy. As always, I'm your host, Nick R. Murphy. Oh, it's Friday, guys. The weekend's here. Almost, anyway. It's almost here. And, what we gonna do now? And I think today's kind of a slow news day. Nothing's really catching my eye here. Let's see. I don't know. Well, I do have a follow-up for, yesterday's show. Sylvester Stallone categorically denies any sexual wrongdoing back when he was filming Over the Top back in 1986. And it confirmed, I kept digging into the story, and yeah, he was filming Over the Top when this allegedly took place. That was a good call on my part. Good call. And I dug a little deeper, and this story has been floating around for, a couple years now almost. A couple years. And the only source, the original source that I found for the allegations was a Baltimore news source. And I don't even know how reputable that is. But they've been talking about it for a while, and then all of a sudden other places picked it up. Like, hey, they got a police report. So, I don't know if someone working for that Baltimore paper had a grudge against Stallone or what, and they just forged a police report or something, just to create like a nice fake scandal around this. Or maybe it's true. Maybe Sylvester Stallone and his bodyguard did double team that 16-year-old girl. I wouldn't put it past him. I think 1986, I'm sure Sly Stallone thought he was pretty invincible. So I guess he could, get away with anything, right? Well, they say the chickens come home to roost, and there they go. Yeah. But I'm on the fence. I don't know if I believe it or not. I'm very, very close to not believing it. It didn't feel true to me, but, there's like a counter argument floating around. It's like, just because someone's a big star, doesn't mean, they don't have to have their personal life scrutinized. They don't have to be perfect. They're human just like anyone else. You know what? Fuck that. You have a responsibility to your fans if you want fans. And it's a pretty easy responsibility to take advantage of. All you have to do is not rape anyone, and not come on underage people. I mean, that's simple enough, right? How easy is that not to? I could do that shit in my sleep. You know why? Because I don't do anything in my sleep, including dream about, uh, like I can't even mention that as I can't even dream about, ooh, little girls. Oh my goodness, it's just a bunch of BS, and I don't like it. You know, don't like it at all. It's some bullshit. But at the same time, it's like, why am I angry about this? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense to be angry about this. It's just Hollywood. It's just movies. You know, Hollywood and actors and victims, and it didn't affect me at all. It's like, yet somewhere in Africa there's a mass genocide going on, and the militants have overthrown their ruthless dictator, only to be replaced by another ruthless dictator. It's just a dictator competition up in Africa, I guess. But don't worry, I think it's, what is it, Zimbabwe, Magagwe, I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know where this is at. I'm so indifferent to it, and it bothers me that I'm so indifferent. People are dying by the hundreds, thousands, hell, maybe even millions. I mean, I've heard the stories about apartheid. This is just the same things always happening over and over again in these countries, and it's like, what is that news? That's always happening. Oh, look, they're gonna, like, here are the kid soldiers with their machine guns. They're gonna shoot us all down or cut off our heads with machetes. These little kid soldiers. I seen Blood Diamond. I know what's up. Yeah. But I think it's an American issue. I think if you're in America and you hear about shit that goes down in other countries, it's like you can't relate. It's too far away. These people, you can't relate to their culture. You can't relate to their values. And as far as you can tell, that culture and values isn't worth keeping since everyone's doing fucking genocide. It's really, really hip right now. And then earlier this week there was a earthquake on the Iran-Iraq border, and I was thinking about covering it, but I was like, what am I gonna say about that? What am I gonna say about it? There's nothing I can say about that at all. There's nothing I can say about that. I was like, okay, well, okay, horrible, just horrible. And that's crazy. How indifferent can you? That's crazy. So how indifferent can you get? I'm just a privileged American. Privileged white American. I gotta put that emphasis on the white because, people will be quick to say, oh, you're just a privileged white American. Like, okay. Guess so. And if that means I don't have to worry about getting my head chopped off by militants, then great. Privilege me up. In fact, I'll re-up my privilege ship at the end of the year. Yep. I love that privilege. And I want to keep that privilege. And I don't want Donald Trump to be fucking it up because he's just, shooting his mouth off, saying how Kim Jong-un is short and fat, which is true. But, it's all about stating the obvious. It's like cheating. You see something wrong with someone, and it's like you don't have any other ammunition against them, so you just point at their looks and say, hey, this guy is short and fat, and he's an idiot. Yeah. I mean, what are we, kids in the schoolyard? Get out of here. Get out of here. Just get out of here. Now, but, the news is the news. It's going to keep being the news no matter what I do, and everyone will pretty much say the same thing I do if they want to offer their own opinions on it, I mean, I'm just like everyone else a lot of the time. Like, I have the same reactions. I'm just a normal dude. But that wasn't what I wanted today's show to be about. I wanted today's show to be about why the hell I'm even doing this show. Why am I doing this show? I got a couple fans, and that's great, and I'm glad they're listening, and I hope you keep listening. And I could promote myself and maybe get new fans, but it's like you go through all the trouble, you try to get fans, you try to promote your work, and you get nothing. After all that work, it's like, okay, maybe you get a couple hundred viewers, but, some people get millions of views within, like, literally within a minute. Like, oh, this person, and because people know who they are, and they put up their video, and they watch it, and it's like, oh, yeah, so, you can't fight against that. You just have to keep doing what you're doing, and maybe it'll it's just bait floating out. This is just chum in the waters of YouTube, and like maybe the big sharks will take the chum, and I'll get the shark or whale of viewership. But since this is just a half-hour block of me talking over a you know over a picture that goes nowhere, it's not an active video, so it's kind of difficult to to build up your fan base. It's no easy task, and so many people are trying to do it. It's like millions of people are trying to build up their fan base, and I'm just like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But if I have to like put my sanity on the line in order for it to happen, it ain't gonna happen. No way. It's like this is all about luck for me. If like you're successful in something, it's not about hard work. It's about luck. It's about luck. And everyone talks about how hard they work to get where they are. Like, oh, I worked so hard to get here. I'm glad it's finally starting to pay off. Yeah. Uh-huh. Thanks. Thank you for all this. Yeah. Thanks for this Oscar. Thanks for the Super Bowl win. Thanks, God. Love you, Mom. Bye. That's the mentality of successful people. And successful people, once they attain success, they don't get what it's like to be unsuccessful. They remember, but their relation to it kind of like fades away because it's like, oh, things are good now. Things are good. I'm not worried about your bullshit. I'm just gonna focus on my thing. Oh, you're a nobody? Oh, that sucks. Okay, keep going. But it's really good. Like, if people don't give being a nobody enough credit, it's really good to be a nobody. Anonymity is your friend, in my opinion, especially in this day and age. Especially in this day and age with the internet and everything. It's, it's okay to be a voice in the cloud that nobody listens to. But, something in the back of my head is like, oh, I want to be a YouTube celebrity. No, I don't. I don't want to be a YouTube celebrity. I just want to be a successful writer, filmmaker, but while I'm not doing those things, I'll do this, which is nice to have something to fall back on when I just can't work, sometimes. Alright, well, I do this show. Why do I do this show? I do this show to fight depression and anxiety. Which is the same reason I smoke cigarettes. I fight depression and anxiety. And, it works some of the time. It works a lot some of the time, but not a lot all the time, I guess. And what brought this on was like after I recorded yesterday's show. I felt good, But soon after, I ended up, something went down, and I ended up having an anxiety attack. My daughter got scared, and I saw how scared she was, and I didn't want to see that face again. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't even, look up the memory of her seeing this face of how scared she was. And I picked her up, and I was trying to put her down, and she wouldn't let me go. She was just scared, and I'm like, oh, no. Oh, here it comes. Oh, an anxiety attack. So I had to get out of where I was. I had to, get Lacey to calm down so I could have this fucking anxiety attack, and it was just no good. And every time I have an anxiety attack, it always leads to a depression episode. So I spent too much time in bed today because I was just depressed. I wasn't sad. I was just like, oh, I can't get up. I know I have work to do. I just can't. Oh, no. And personally, I think that's bullshit. It's just, like, how can you get so easily overwhelmed? I guess when you go through enough bullshit in life, it just becomes ridiculously easy to become overwhelmed by shit. And when I'm in, like, a depressive state or something, now I'm undiagnosed, okay? I didn't go to a doctor, and like, it's like, when you know. Like, if you're upset or if you're, exhausted and you don't understand why, it's because you're depressed. I'll be WebMD right now and say, yeah, you're depressed. Okay, Psychology Today, you're depressed. Okay. So you don't need a doctor to tell you how fucked up you are. you can figure that shit out on your own, because who else is you but you? You know? And I hate when that shit happens, because I fall behind, and like, there was a danger of me not recording the show today because of it, but like, I'm at it now. I'm up, and depression episode's over, and I feel good. Sometimes when that happens, people like try to fight. Like, I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. Yeah, you are. Shut the fuck up, and sleep until it's gone. Or yeah, just, or if you can't sleep, just figure out something you can do to get your mind off of how, bummed out you are, and that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, guys. It's as easy as the hamster dance. But because I had that anxiety attack last night, it made me wonder. It's like, if I'm doing this show to fight depression and anxiety, and I'm still having anxiety, unexpected or otherwise, what does that mean? What does that mean for the show? It's like, does that mean I'm not really being myself on the show, that I'm just putting up a front? And I'm a stickler for authenticity. I just want to, be as real as I possibly can, Yeah. It just annoys me if, like, to know that I'm doing this show and I'm not being myself. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. It's like, how do you be yourself? How are you not yourself? Huh? It caused, like, kind of an existential crisis. I think that intensified the depression episode. It's, so, like, there was a point in the last episode where I just wanted to stop recording. I just wanted to stop recording, but I had to fight it through to the end. And I did, and I was proud of myself. We could thank Sly Stallone for that and his sex scandal, because that kind of woke me up, and I'm like, oh, I'm not that lucky today. I'm not finding anything in the news that'll just help me just get through the next 15 minutes or so. But, I'm going to keep going regardless, because that's what this show is all about. I'm venting. I'm fucking, I don't think I'm angry enough on this show. I need to get fucking angry about shit. But if I don't want to force the anger, like, if I'm pissed off because of something that's going on Capitol Hill or fucking Hollywood, I'm not going to be raging about it, because it doesn't really affect me as a person. It might affect my plans for the future, but it doesn't affect me right now as a person, so I'm not that pissed off about it. And what that does is kind of turns into a meta thing, where I'm pissed off for not being pissed off. It's like, well, you should be more pissed about this. You need to fight the good fight. You need to get out there, and you need to fucking bash some skulls, man. Figuratively speaking. It's like, you gotta fight the good fight. You gotta go out there and you gotta write what you think. You gotta say what you think. You gotta just let it all off your chest, all off your mind, and then you'll be alright. And, and it's better to do that if I don't have an agenda. Like, I was going through the list of the first 4 episodes of Men on YouTube, and, like, the view count is abysmal. Just flat out abysmal, and I've been promoting it, but, if you pay Facebook $5, you can boost your posts and reach over 800 people, or maybe 1,000. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm not paying to, reach people. I want to reach people organically. So you're not going to get me to open my wallet, because there's no money in there. So I have to, like, just dig myself out. I'm like, got a fucking spoon, and I'm just digging dirt out from under this prison cell of my mind. This is what I'm doing. Like, imagine my mind is a prison cell, and I'm stuck in there, and I'm just fighting myself in there. And then I have a spoon, I'm just, like, trying to dig in, and it's like, it's just not going anywhere. It's just not going anywhere. But you know what? That's fine. Because that's not why I'm doing this show. I'm doing this show to fight depression and anxiety. And if it doesn't serve that purpose, then why am I doing the show? So, I'm not going to stop doing the show. The show's going to keep going because I was expecting these obstacles. And instead of giving up and saying, like, oh, no one's going to watch it anyway, I'm just going to keep going. And you want to fucking watch it. Listen to the fucking thing if you want to listen to it. You don't have to. You're under no obligation to me. It's like, I'm just a guy fighting himself here. I'm like Edward Norton. I'm Edward Norton at the beginning of Fight Club, you know, sans Tyler and just fighting himself in a goddamn alley, just waiting for people to, you know, walk up and ask, can I be next? You know? And when I say that, it's like, can I be next? It's like, can I be on your show? Yeah, you could be on my show. Like, set up a date, make sure you're available. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Or Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to do a show Monday and Friday. What I do in between is, you know, that's up to fate to decide. It's just, I don't know, man. Had this whole bit I was going to do, and I think I might do it on a later episode. But I'm going to offer a teaser here that, you know, it kind of harkens back to what I said at the beginning about there being only two genders. Because there are. You know, surprise, surprise, there are. Mental genders are not genders. They're not biologically proven, so yeah. Empirically speaking, there are only two genders. Yeah. I mean, you know. And, you know, I just wanted to, you know, because this is what really annoys me about people online who, like, criticize people for the jokes they make. And the biggest one, like, I understand you can't joke about race. You know, that's hurtful. I mean, but there are some good racist jokes out there. You can't joke about transgenders because that's transphobia, quote. I don't think I'm afraid of trans people. It's just, you know, it's, you know, see, I'm trying to look for the right words because somewhere along the line, she-male and tranny got replaced by stunning and brave. So you can't say she-male tranny anymore. You can only say stunning or brave, and that happened. It's been like that for about 3 years now. So the thing about these stunning and brave people, you know, it's like, you know, they're living their lives and go for it. You know, we all feel what we feel, and that's how it is. But just because you're living life as you doesn't mean I can't make jokes about you, and it also means you can't make. You know, it also doesn't mean that you get to make jokes about me. You can make jokes about me. Problem is, you don't know who I am, so you can't really make any jokes about me. It's like, unless you know me better, you can say, "Oh, this is white privileged asshole with his bald head and trichotillomania on his face." And if you don't know what trichotillomania is, yeah, I pick hair out of my face because I am in control of my face. That's the only thing I'm in control of in my life. I can control what hair grows out of my face. Yeah, I'm in total control of my life. No, it's just like, it's irritating, so pull the hair out. Yeah, whatever. It ain't that bad. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. I could be picking hair in my head. Like, oh no. But, you know what, am I going to make myself... No one would notice. I'd make myself balder than I am. See, I'm not afraid to poke fun at myself. And so it really annoys me when people say, you know, you can't joke about depression or, you know, mental illness, and I'm like, fuck you. I have depression and anxiety. If I want to joke about it, guess what? I'm going to joke about it. Easy. And I was like, I went to Google to find this out. I was like, why are people so offended by jokes about mental illness? And then I ran into this article about triggers. It's like, triggers, like, you know, people shouldn't use the trigger joke anymore because it reminds people of bad times in their life, of PTSD, and, you know, people just shouldn't make the joke anymore. I'm like, no! I love the trigger joke. It's like one of my favorite jokes. Like, it's like the best meme online. It's one of my favorites. I don't know if it's the best meme, but, you know, like, every time I hear somebody say something offensive for a yuck, the first thing that pops into mind is, like, triggered. And it's usually in reference to feminism or whatever, but it works for everyone who's been through a traumatic experience, and they're like, triggered. I mean, And it's funny to me because I actually have triggers now. And so whenever I feel triggered, like it's like something to latch on. It's like a nice little pillow of humor. If something affects me wrong, I'll just be like triggered, and I'm like, oh, triggered. Yeah, and that's this is gonna be a teaser for a future episode, but it actually became the episode. Sorry, I contradicted myself there. No, this is what this is about now. It's about people. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this as delicately as I can. But, as the show goes on, I'm not going to be as delicate about it anymore. But I'm going to put it as delicately as I can. Man, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like, what can I say here? And I'm not, like, what am I afraid of? Offending people? I'm not afraid of offending people. I'm afraid of getting doxxed. And that's it. It's like, because a lot of people get offended. It's oh, this is where he lives. This is bank account information. I'm a hacker. Beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. This dox his ass. I'm like, okay. Because you were offended by a joke. That doesn't sound right to me. What is this? What is this? Communist China? Communist Cuba? Can't talk bad about the regime of, the mentally ill and the transgender folk? No. It's like it's a freedom of speech thing, and we should be allowed to say what we want as long as it's in the realm of common decency. Like, a joke can be offensive, but it's probably because it's not timed right and it's not in the proper context. There is such a thing as a too soon joke, but it's never too soon for a too soon joke. I mean, that's kind of an anomaly, but I don't care. It's never too soon for a too soon joke. But sometimes it's too late for a too soon joke. And other times it's just a wrong time for a too soon joke. And it doesn't matter how far after the event that it is. But the thing is, if you get offended by a joke about mental illness, or anything else for that matter, you're giving that more power. Like, you're taking the piss out of the weapon being used to fight depression or anxiety or just whatever bullshit you're going through. It's like it's okay to be triggered. It's okay to be triggered, but the best course of action is to combat that trigger with humor. If I'm upset, okay, I'll just watch something funny. See if it will lighten my spirits up. It's like, and that's something funny will have offensive jokes in it. Like, maybe I'll watch Family Guy, American Dad, South Park, or it's like Louis C.K. stand-up. Yeah, I'll watch Louis C.K. stand-up still. I don't care. I feel sorry for his victims, though. It's like people like, oh, people are just talking about Louis, and, nobody's talking about his victims and all this. And I'm like, I feel sorry. It sounds so, like, I feel sorry. No, I mean, I feel bad. I mean, if Louis C.K. jerked off in front of me, I wouldn't feel too good about it either. But, it doesn't... We all have our brain farts, Like, sometimes a guy's nuts overpower his brain, and nuts take control, and it's just impulsivity, Ain't never happened to me, but I'm still youngish. It could happen. Or just say uncontrollable, like, oh! And I don't see that. No, they say your sexual peak for a guy is, like, 18 to 25, and I'm way past that. Like, if I was in my 20s, I'd probably be fucking sex crazy right now, but now it's all like, okay, I'm kind of over it sexually. Like, sex is good, sex is great, but it's like I'm just not obsessed with it. And I think guys that get caught in this sexual allegation spiral, they're obsessed with sex. They got an issue, and they need to fucking take care of it, because that shit could get in the way and destroy everything you hold dear, as it has so happened with Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and Louis C.K. These are like the three big names. But I don't even think Louis C.K. should be mentioned in the same company as Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein. Just because Louis C.K. didn't touch his victims. He kept them at arm's length. Like, literally. So, but it doesn't mean what he did wasn't gross, but, it is what it is. And there I go, just talking about, sexual allegations. Like, I'm like I don't know. It's like I just can't, like a broken record here. It just repeats the same shit over and over again, and that's what annoys me about doing this show and just talking about the same shit again. It's just like, but I just I guess I'd like to get over it, but I just can't right now. I mean, like it's gonna get old hat pretty soon. I hope. Of course, there might be just new allegations that come out. Who knows? Who the f knows? I don't know. I don't have the answer to these questions. All I'm saying is, if you're offended by a joke, you're wrong. Yep. Wait. No. I'm saying that. I'm not saying that right. Okay. If you're offended by a joke, you're wrong for feeling that way. Your feelings are wrong. Yeah, people get really uppity about, my feelings are not wrong. They're my feelings. They're my feelings, and they're hurt because of what you said. I'm like, sorry. I believe it's your responsibility to desensitize yourself to the horrors of the world, and part of that desensitization is offensive jokes, or violent imagery, or violent movies. Like, you need to expose yourself to the horrors of the world. You can't live in a bubble. You gotta know this place is fucked up. And people do fucked up shit. And you gotta prepare yourself for that. You just don't want, you can't believe people do what they do. But you just need to let it in, so you're not affected as bad when you actually do hear something that's offensive. It's like, people are just, I'm sure it's a small section of the population. Most people are just alright, they're cool with it. They don't care. I mean, they might not like it, but there's a small section of the 1% of internet commenters. These neckbeards that live in their basement, both men and women, are always playing video games or on game forums, or they see something on Facebook or YouTube they don't like, and they're like, and I'm like, fucking. My message to those people is just fucking grow up. Because most of those people are kids anyway. Just fucking grow up, desensitize yourself to the world, and let people do their own thing. That's my piece on the matter. I think I got properly angry today. And, I'll leave you guys with this. I will leave you guys with this, And I just said it, and I'll say it again. It is your responsibility to desensitize yourself to the horrors of the world. And... oh, news alert. What's going on? Oh, nothing, guys. Just false alarm. It was the New York Times book review. Slow news day, guys. Slow news day. But, yeah. Toughen up, guys. I'm doing my part. It's not easy, but if you're offended by anything I say, you're wrong to be offended. Yeah. Your feelings are wrong. Deal with it. I hate to tell you this way. I hate to break it to you. You're not a beautiful and unique snowflake. You're the same decaying organic matter as everything else. As our friend and fictional character Tyler Durden said. All right, guys. I'm out of time here, man. I'm ready to go here. But this is the weekend, and I hope you guys can have a good one. I know it's not easy out there, but just keep it sleazy. Keep it sleazy. I don't know who said that originally. I'm plagiarizing right now. Plagiarizing or paraphrasing, I don't know. But you guys have a good weekend, and I'll set the tone with some exit music. Just take it easy, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye. Some walk by night, some fly by day. Moonlighting, guys. Remember that show? Bruce Willis, Civil Shepherd. I think the singer just died. That's sad. He died fairly recently. I'm trying to cheer up here. So you're listening to a dead man right now. Not me. I'm not dead. The person singing is dead. So, have a good weekend. Bye. Yeah.